the really interesting thing, and I'm interested to see what happens with West Coast going forward. The way they handled it was 100 times better than all the other clubs. The process was so different. So the other clubs and I'm sure they've all changed now. So this is 12 years ago, but it was an email, or let's just talk about leadership, or here's a little pack of our club and who we are. Whereas West Coast, it was a headhunting firm that was got nothing to do with West Coast. And this guy rang me, Lloyd Smith, his name was. And he said, I'm representing West Coast. I want to talk about your values. And I said, okay. And we spent, I don't know, an hour just talking about nothing to do with footy, leadership, all that sort of stuff. And then he said, give me 10 references and make sure 2 of them are bad, that don't like you or whatever,
Really?
So I put Clarko down as one of the bad ones. So I went through two interviews with them before I even got to the West Coast position. So then when I went to West Coast, you got to fly over, so it's a bit different than Melbourne. And then presented, and they said, look, if you did a good job, you'll stay tonight and you'll present again tomorrow, or you'll get a boarding pass to go straight to the airport and fly out that night. So you go back in your room and I just waited for the knock on the door.
You're kidding?
Yeah. And he said, no, we want you to come back tomorrow and present.
Because the external and being at the club at the time, Peter Sulmich had been assistant coach, and there was a fair bit of talk within the playing group and external here in West Australian media, which good friends of yours, that Sulma was a favourite for the job, and then you'd come and presented and you hit the ball, you absolutely knocked them out of the park with your presentation.
Yeah, I don't know about the other stuff, but it was a pretty similar prezzo that I'd done to the other clubs, and it was what I'd largely learnt at Hawthorn. So the holistic approach, but a little bit it was the North stuff about the culture and connection and unity. Much just resonated with what they were looking for. I think it was presented to the board. It wasn't a selection panel. I think it was the board. On the board at the time, there was a lot of footy people as well.
Yep.
So, and then I came back the next day, and I remember saying, "Oh, look, I'm not Clarkson. I'm not Pagan. I'm my own man." I think the risk was because I was 38. They might have thought I was trying to just be a. So I think I read the room okay with all that, and then, they said, "All right, we'll get back to you." And then I flew back to Melbourne and just waited, and then I did do a psych test.
Did you?
Yeah, I was really worried about that.
So what does that look like? What were you worried about?
Online, because you don't know if you're, secretly
a lunatic.
Axe murder. Yeah, you don't know. You really don't know when you're doing it, because you can't fudge that one.
Are you wired up? Like, what's a psych test? Like, are you
it was online, so Dad was with me. It helped me out a little bit.
Did he?
Well, some of them were like, "How smart are your questions?" So there was 2 psych. I can't remember what they were. And
so you asked Dad.
Yeah, I did it at Dad's house. He's smarter than me. So
that's bloody good.
So and you worry a bit about your profile, because I've done a few of them. I actually prepared a couple of years before it. I met a guy who'd done prepared people for jobs or interviewed people for other panels. So I said, "What do you do?" And I did a mock test and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, when you do it, you don't really know what it's going to spit out, because if you're not up to it from a psychological point of view, there's not much wriggle room there.
Your dad would have been pretty proud when you got the job.
Oh, yep. He said, "You got 2 years." That's how long you got. Yeah, he's pretty brutal.
Sack done.
Yeah, so you'll have 2 years, mate. And then, he's pretty honest. Like some of the feedback I've got the last couple of years from Dad, it's been pretty good.
Warranted?
It was on you guys, not me.
Who's you guys? I haven't played for 4 years.
That's right. I keep thinking you played a couple of weeks ago. No. Look, he's just like all parents are different, but he's just pretty honest.
That was just a little teaser of our full episode. They're out Wednesdays on YouTube, and you can listen to them wherever you get your podcast. Go on, get out of here.